मेदिनि विश्वविनोदी नन्दनुते गिरिवरविन्ध्यशिरोधि निवासी विष्णुविलासी जिष्णुनुते ऐगिरिनन्दिनि नन्दितमेदिनि विश्वविनोदी नन्दनुते गिरिवरविन्ध्यशिरोधि निवासी विष्णुविलासी जिष्णुनुते.
We've grown up, my father was in the army, he was an infantry officer. So we've grown up mostly as separated families because those were the years that all the wars were fought, 62 and 65. And before that, as a bachelor, he was in NEFA insurgency. So we've grown up a lot with my mother, who was, like most army wives, capable and confident and able to handle it. And I've changed about 10 schools in 12 years of my education, moving back and forth between where my dad had a peace posting and where he was in field. And finally, I did my graduation from Bangalore Government College of Pharmacy. So I'm a pharmacist by education. Then I worked for a year, got married, then went back to do my master's. And while my kids were still small, so they did their homework and I did mine. And I've been working more or less throughout. I can say, yeah. Although I'm married to a fighter pilot, and same things, postings all over, so moving all over. And wherever I could get a job, I definitely picked it up. There were times when in places where there were no jobs available. So that time I enjoyed myself as an Air Force officer's wife, did a lot of activities as well that go on in any army base. That's briefly about myself. I don't think anything can prepare you for the worst because, you go through life with a certain optimism, with certain interests and excitement. Nothing really prepares you for the worst, but yes, maybe you know how the life is and you're comfortable in that kind of a life. You know the good and the difficult sides. I won't say bad, but the challenging times as well. You know about them. Maybe you are able to handle it better. This is a story that my grandmother, my aunt, they've all said so. It's the Shiva Parvati story. Mm-hmm. So Parvati was born a princess, raised with love, and Shiva, nobody knows where he came from and what he did. Mm-hmm. And yet, when she married him, she did not do so for comfort or money, but she did so for maybe a romantic friendship, mutual respect, and she was open to the challenges, but she was very confident within herself that she could deal with whatever came. Yes. She could follow her own dreams and she could deal with what might come in. So I would say keep an open mind and don't go in with this very romantic notion of a man in uniform because it does involve a lot of stress and at times, it depends on how you look at it. It could involve a lot of separation. And it definitely would involve him putting his country and his duty before you and your kids. Be very aware of that, and otherwise it could become a very stressful relationship. I have seen young girls with a lot of dreams, and it's great to have dreams, but you come from a big city with a lot of, exposure to a lot of things. And then if you end up in some small godforsaken place where there's no mall, no movie hall, not even a decent restaurant, are you ready to have fun with your potlucks and your hobbies and, the outdoors or something? Or are you going to crib about it? True. That is something one will have to look at for themselves. You're never prepared for the loss of someone in an act of war defending his country. All of a sudden, it happens. It's happened to many. It's happened in our home. I think it's very, very difficult, and nobody can ever accept it. But you do look at it differently. because there is a certain pride in the fact that many lives are saved by what he did. You begin to believe, okay, maybe their life has a purpose. This was a role that was meant for him, and so he played it that way. So that aspect of, could I have done something to save him? That guilt is not there. Right now, Akshay's is still fairly recent, and I would say the army family has been supportive. It's there. But the experience that I have seen with a lot of other families has not been great. Many of them do feel no one's been in touch, particularly the wives welfare associations are, I think centrally their role is for the wives of serving soldiers.
Okay.
And once somebody is martyred, their role ends, kind of. And I think that needs to change, because what's the point of a welfare association of wives if it doesn't stand by the one who needs you the most?
True.
So I think the forces must try to look at this a bit differently, see how they can support families. There are a lot of challenges, I've seen young mothers, their school going children, suddenly they have to take a house on Civil Street outside the campus. What about their sports? They used to swim in the pool. What about it now? What about their safety? They can't even take a bike ride outside, right? They were used to a certain way of life when their fathers were there. And things change. I think a lot can be done. It just has to be, the intent has to be there, and things have to be worked out a little bit. Finally,
Yes.
our soldiers have something that I think not just the families, I think the whole country is proud of. I think it was really long delayed, because I knew that Bangladesh had a war memorial in the mid 80s when they became independent only in 71. So I think it was really long delayed, and this is something all countries take pride in. You forget your soldiers and your country has no honor, no respect left. I felt very connected to these, most of them are young, brave hearts.
Yes.
And connected with their families in many ways. And it's always an emotional feeling, but at the same time, there is that pride that, yes, they do have a place of honor that they deserve. We work through the Major Akshay Girish Memorial Trust, we work with a lot of young people, and in the interactive session, the questions don't end. So there definitely is an interest, and I hope that social media is a strong connect for sure. So we thought the best way, being in a South Indian city, is to sort of put out more information, inspiration, and sessions with students, because they are our country's future. So we started with workshops and seminars in colleges and universities, also a government school program. Basically, it is just to say, follow your dreams and goals, but don't forget you are what you are because of your country, and how will you give back?
Mm-hmm.
And for those who are keen to join the uniformed services, we do have a lot of experts taking sessions. What are the entrance exams? How do you prepare for them? What are SSB interviews? The process, just to sort of take them through a little bit. And if someone is keen, to even connect them to a mentor. That's our primary objective, is motivation. But then also through the trust, we're connected with other families of soldiers who've given their lives for the country. That's a solidarity support group, you can say. We meet, we visit each other. We also help some of the soldiers who've not got their entitlements, their families, or their children need some help with maybe a laptop or some online class requirements. Whatever way, somebody's pension hasn't come, so how do we support them in the interim?
Yes.
Somebody needs a certain medical treatment, and sometimes the next of kin is the wife, but the parents are not, so they do not get looked after. So how do we step in? And we've been fortunate that a lot of wonderful people are associated with us, and I think that trust and faith has been strong, and we've been able to make a small difference in the last 2 years.
नन्दिनि नन्दितमेदिनि विश्वविनोदिनि नन्दनुते